Hello and welcome to my Five Nights at Freddys theory. This episode is, well, this theory I guess, is going to be about trying to figure out the complex timetable in the Five Nights at Freddy series. Right, for the last while I've been working on figuring out the story of Five Nights at Freddy's. I think I figured it out now, but don't forget this is just speculation. I tried to eliminate any plot holes I found, so if you guys can find any plot holes, I'd love to see them down in the comments. The story has lots of hints here and there all over the games, from the death mini games to newspaper clippings on the wall, but let's just say it's still kind of complicated, like an extreme still kind of complicated. I believe it all starts off in a place called Fredbear's Family Diner. The phone guy mentioned it in FNAF 2 on night 5. This place is what I believe to be the first place in the FNAF timeline. Just in case you are wondering, FNAF is short for Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, we're going to try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner or something like that. It was closed for years, though. I doubt we'll be able to track anybody down.
The first minigame I will mention is the Take Cake to Children death minigame, where you play as Freddy serving cake to children to keep them happy. While you serve cake to the children, you see a crying child outside the door. As you continue serving cake to the children, a purple car then approaches the child. A purple figure gets out of the car and approaches the child. This mysterious purple figure continues to kill the child. The purple figure then proceeds to drive away in the car. We will refer to the purple figure as the purple guy. After this, the marionette jump scare occurs. Did I scare you? I guess I can use this to my advantage to keep you alert. The next part of the story comes into play during the Foxy Death minigame. Within this minigame, Foxy runs out from behind the curtains towards 5 children. Foxy then repeats this process again. On the third attempt, there is the purple man standing right beside the curtain. The purple man watches as Foxy runs out to encounter the 5 children. When Foxy finally gets out to the children, they are all dead. With the purple man's record of murdering children, it is pretty obvious who killed them. Oh, and look, there's that jump scare thing again. Hope you're alert. In FNAF 1, Foxy is out of order. I believe the reason for that is that Foxy was blamed for murdering the 5 children. I have dated this to happen in Fredbear's Family Diner. Between Fredbear's Family Diner and the first game, Foxy isn't used and decays. By the time of FNAF 1, Foxy is still being repaired to be used again, therefore isn't completely trusted. The 5 dead children that were killed in the Foxy Death minigame are in the Give Gifts Give Life minigame. I believe the Give Gifts Give Life minigame is a second part to the Foxy Death minigame. You are playing as the marionette and you start off by giving gifts to the 4 dead children. After you finish giving the gifts to the children, it says Give Life. The marionette then places the 4 children in 4 animatronic suits: Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie and Chica. You have probably noticed that there are 4 dead children there, while there were 5 dead children in the Foxy Death minigame. Wait, did you see that? Right, look again. The frame just before the Golden Freddy jump scare, there is a 5th child in the centre of the room. Also, notice the way that it is Golden Freddy's jump scare after the 5th child. This indicates that the 5th child was stuffed into Golden Freddy's costume. The Give Gifts Give Life minigame is a play on words. I think it is meant to mean give the gift of life. I also believe this is the marionette trying to recruit more animatronics to help it with its goal of vengeance. So far, we have 1 restaurant, 6 deaths, and 6 animatronics on a goal of vengeance. Fredbear's Family Diner then sells to a company called Fazbear Entertainment, most likely because there have been 5 children killed inside the building. I know exactly what you're thinking. There were 6 people killed within the 3 death minigames. And that would be correct, but in the first death minigame, notice the way the child was killed outside the building. Therefore, the actual company wouldn't get in trouble for it. That is also why they weren't shut down when the first child was killed. Fazbear Entertainment opens a restaurant. This is a setting for FNAF 2. You are probably thinking to yourself that the number 1 tends to come before the number 1, but before you comment, OMG, you can't count good, that is not necessarily the way it is on a timeline. Now, time to explain how FNAF 2 comes before FNAF 1. I'll explain why it seems likely that FNAF 2 is a sequel first though. In FNAF 2, there is mention of the place reopening. The old animatronics have been subjected to time, and there are many more new animatronics, so it does seem pretty reasonable if the game is a sequel. On the other hand though, there are a lot of things that go against this. First, there is Phone Guy still being alive. Second, in FNAF 1 it mentions the Bite of 87, something from the same year as FNAF 2 takes place. All of the points saying that FNAF 2 is a sequel could be bypassed with other solutions, but the Phone Guy being dead, that can't have another solution. This means that there must have been a place before FNAF 2, which was Fredbear's Family Diner, as we just previously talked about. So now we have determined that FNAF 2 is a prequel, we can continue looking at the timeline. With the restaurant of FNAF 2 being open, that means it needs a security guard. A person was of course employed for this job. During this person's time working as night guard, another 5 children went missing. This happens during the Save Them minigame. On rare occasions during that minigame, it is possible to see the elusive purple guy. When the purple guy gets you, the screen has blue static and the words "you can't" appear in the bottom left corner. During the minigame, Freddy is spelling out the words "Save Them," and with the purple guy saying "you can't," makes us think, are the animatronics really the bad guys? The purple guy is a bit different this time though. The purple guy now has a badge that would have been given to a new night guard. The night guard that worked before you was the purple guy. I'll refer to the previous night guard as the purple guy from here. The purple guy then asked to be moved to the day shift because the animatronics started going inside his office, as mentioned by the phone guy. With the vacancy in the night shift, Jeremy Fitzgerald is then employed.
You're only the second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seemed to move around at night and even attempted to get into his office.
So this is where you as a player would start off while playing FNAF 2. Some people may notice that the phone guy mentions that it is a summer job, but I believe that this is just an expression. By night 3, the murders that happened in the past week are starting to be linked to the restaurant. The Purple Man reports nothing unusual happening in order to protect himself.
Oh hey, before I go, I wanted to ease your mind about any rumors you might have heard lately. You know how these local stories come and go and seldom mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever is going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It's just all rumor and speculation, people trying to make a buck, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening till close.
On night 4, there is a police investigation ongoing inside the building. At this point it is reported that the animatronics were acting unusual towards staff and any adults, for that matter. This is a big turning point in the story, as the marionette is blinded by hatred for the Purple Man, which makes it hate every adult. When the animatronics are around children, they are fine, but when they are around adults, they just stare.
Okay, so just to update you, there's been somewhat of an investigation going on. We may end up having to close for a few days, I don't know. I want to emphasize, though, that it's really just a precaution. Fazbear Entertainment denies any wrongdoing. These things happen sometimes. It'll all get sorted out in a few days. Just keep an eye on things and I'll keep you posted. Just as a side note though, try to avoid eye contact with any of the animatronics tonight if you can. Someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. We're not sure. But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive toward the staff. with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
By night 5, the place is on lockdown. This applies especially to any previously employees. At this point, the day job just became available, which was a job the purple guy previously worked in, therefore signalling that they know it is the purple guy who killed the children.
Hey, keep a close eye on things tonight, okay? From what I understand, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees. When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. A position just became available. We don't have a replacement for your shift yet, but we're working on it.
On night 6, Jeremy Fitzgerald learns from the phone guy that the purple guy used a yellow suit in the back to get the children's attention. What is the yellow suit, I hear you ask? Well, it is no other than Golden Freddy. You're probably wondering how the purple guy got inside Golden Freddy's suit, with the endoskeleton body inside. Well, what I believe happened is that the mechanics who were using the parts from the old animatronics to make the new animatronics removed the bodies from inside the animatronics, while also removing the endoskeleton from Golden Freddy to use for parts for the new animatronics. This is also why you can't see a skull inside Wizard Bonnie's head. Further into the conversation with the phone guy, he tells you that there is a birthday party tomorrow, and you'll be working on the day shift.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay?
During the birthday party on day 7, the infamous Bite of 87 occurred. The previous night, Germany was told to stay close to the animatronics during the birthday party. We first hear about the Bite of 87 in the first game, when the phone guy mentions that the animatronic ripped someone's frontal lobe off, but they miraculously survived.
They used to be allowed to walk around during the day, too, but then there was the Bite of 87. Yeah. It's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, you know?
At the time of the Bite of 87, there were 11 animatronics. One of these animatronics bit Jeremy Fitzgerald. First there is Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica and Toy Freddy. All of their teeth are too flat to rip off a frontal lobe. If one of these were to bite you, they'd most likely crush your skull. Next is Wizard Bonnie, Wizard Chica and Wizard Freddy. The results for them would be similar to the results of the toy version. Balloon Boys and Golden Freddy's results would also be the same. After that there's the Marionette. It has no teeth, so it would be impossible to rip off your frontal lobe. Finally we have Foxy and the Mangle. These two have sharp enough teeth to rip off someone's frontal lobe. So now we have deducted that as either Foxy or Mangle. Figuring out which one it is from here is easy. Since Fox would be locked away with the parts and service, it wouldn't have the chance to bite Jeremy, but since the Mangle isn't, it could bite Jeremy at any time. It is at this point Fazbear Entertainment gave up in running the current restaurant, as there has been a case of 5 murders and 1 serious injury. Fazbear Entertainment thinks it would be a good idea to get rid of the new animatronics, because of the events that occurred with the Mangle and the 5 murders. Night 7 then approaches, where they temporarily employ Fritz Smith to be night guard for the final night before the animatronics are scrapped. Fritz Smith is then fired at the end of the night. Now we have 2 restaurants, 11 murders, and 1 extremely injured person. Now you're probably wondering which of the 3 murders match up with the murders described in the newspaper clippings on FNAF 1. Well, the simple answer is none of them do. The 5 murders that are described on the newspaper clippings in FNAF 1 is another set of murders. Why can't any of the 3 murders in the death minigames be the same as described in the newspaper clippings? Let's start with the Take Cake to Children minigame. In that, only 1 child is killed. In the Foxy Death minigame and the Save Them minigame, the children are all killed at once. While on the newspaper clippings, it is mentioned that 2 children are reported missing, then another 3 follow the same fate. Let's see a few of it on a timeline sense. After the events of FNAF 2, Fazbear Entertainment decides to try again with another restaurant. This is when the building of FNAF 1 is built. At this point, Phone Guy is employed as a night guard for a while, as he said he would be.
When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself.
I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact.
This is where the newspaper articles come into use. Around this time of the 22nd of June, 2 children are murdered by yet again the purple guy wearing a Golden Freddy suit. At this time, a suspect is taken in. Whether or not this suspect is the purple guy is unknown. After the 2 dead children are missing, there are reports of 3 more dead children going missing, making this a total of 5 dead children. The suspect is then charged. The business then starts to struggle financially again. The building is then threatened with shutdown over sanitation issues, as parents are reporting blood and mucus coming out of the mouths and eyes of the animatronics. That means that the marionette has put the bodies in the suits again. You may be asking though, how could the marionette be putting bodies inside the suits if it isn't in the first game? Well, that is where you are mistaken. The marionette is in the first game. In FNAF 2, when you complete Night 4, you're introduced to a mini-game of sorts. This also happens in the previous 3 nights, but Night 4's is more interesting. You're inside a Freddy mask with Bonnie and Chica staring at you, but there is also the marionette directly staring inside your suit. How does this prove the marionette's in the first game, you may be asking? Well, in that minigame you are standing right on the show stage from the first game. A while after the first 2 murders in the building of FNAF 1, Fazbear Entertainment intend on closing the restaurant at year's end. Buyers are uninterested in buying the business due to its history, but Fazbear Entertainment are still hoping for a chance someone will buy the company. Phone Guy then comes to his last week working as a night guard. During this last week, he pre-records messages for his future security guards to learn how to do their job. During the recordings of these messages, he is in trouble. Within this message, you can hear Foxy banging on the door. Within this time, Freddy's chime starts playing, and then the noise of Golden Freddy's jump scare is heard. What I believe happened was Phone Guy was looking at the cameras, then his power ran out because Foxy was banging on the door, and when it did, Golden Freddy was sitting on the desk. At the same time, Freddy was also playing a song, but he could only get a few seconds of it in before Golden Freddy killed Phone Guy. Phone Guy requested looking in the back room for him. No news since is known about Phone Guy.
Oh, hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you when I did. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know. Oh no.
Mike Smith is then employed and works 7 nights and is fired at the end of the 7th night. At this point, we have 3 restaurants, 6 animatronics, 16 murders, and 1 extremely injured person. This isn't the end of the story, however. 30 years after FNAF 1 closes its doors, Fazbear Fright, the horror attraction, opens its doors. They are determined to revive the legend of what happened in the chain of restaurants. They got the previous scrapped toy animatronics back, and so the story of FNAF 3 begins. Well, that was a fun episode to make. Oh yeah, does anyone know how to beat 1020 mode legit? Because it is, like, kind of impossible. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please click that like button if you enjoyed, it's always appreciated.